Train to Pakistan is a harrowing tale of a country divided by religious and political differences. The narrative takes place during the historic partition of India in the summer of 1947, which is considered one of the bloodiest times in the country's history. This division of India into two separate states caused a nationwide resettlement, thus dividing the previously single country into a Hindu India and a Muslim Pakistan, with devastating results. With the division of the country on the basis of belief systems, Singh's narrative marks how entire families are made to abandon their lives and uproot themselves to realign their lives based on religious allegiance to ensure safety and survival. The resettlement, however, was anything but safe and secure for those caught up in the ensuing violence. Trying to quickly avoid the oncoming troubles, people fled on foot, cart, and train. Yet as these refugees attempted to flee the violence, they often became caught up in sanctioning violence themselves or were the victims of violence as Hindus and Muslims fought all over the country. Many refugees attempted to flee to the far outskirts of the skirmish, where they imagined they might outrun the violence. Ironically, the farther people got from the cities, the more casual the killing became. It is estimated that nearly 10 million people were assigned for relocation, and of that number, more than 1 million were killed in the resulting violence. Amidst the unspeakable horror, the trains continued to run. Moreover, the trains became a way of killing large numbers of people in one place. These ghost trains or funeral trains, as they are nicknamed, are what the narrative's title references. For many remote villages, such as Mano Majra, supply trains were what kept them functioning. The trains' arrivals and departures were also a part of the daily life cycle of these villages. In time, however, the trains began pulling into stations silently, overburdened with human cargo and off schedule. People's initial complacency soon gave way to fear and then, at times, violence, as the tensions reached the outer areas due in fact to the trains. The novel's narrative addresses the people of Mano Majra, a tiny village that relies on trains for its daily needs. Like other villages, the people living in the village are unconcerned with the troubling news about violence and resettlement. The village itself is made up of Hindu, Sikh, Muslim and quasi-Christians, and has existed for hundreds of years in this state of cooperation. Given the diverse population, the village runs on mutual cooperation as opposed to tension and religious/political division. The villagers need one another for survival, and because of this mutual need, are kept secure in their false sense of security. Life for the villagers of Mano Majra begins to change suddenly when the first ghost train arrives. The villagers are shocked at the number of dead and the silent train moving along the tracks. People stop working to watch from rooftops as the train goes by. When the second ghost train arrives in the village, the villagers' lives are altered even further when they are ordered to help bury the dead passengers before the monsoon season begins. Though the order to help bury the passengers is a shocking twist for the villagers, things become achingly real and surreal for them when the Muslims in the village are ordered to evacuate the village immediately. With overtures that hearken to the death trains of the Holocaust during World War II, the Muslims are stripped of their possessions and only allowed to take what they can carry. The rest of the villagers, including the Sikhs and Hindus, are then told that there will be an attack on the next train to Pakistan, and that they will assist in the attack. The soldiers will begin the attack with gunfire, and the villagers will then finish with clubs and spears. Adding to the horror of their situation, the villagers realize that the next train to Pakistan will actually be carrying the Muslims from their village, meaning their former friends and neighbors. Train to Pakistan is made all the more personal by the fact that Jugga, a Sikh thief, knows that his intended wife, who is Muslim, is one of the passengers on the train. This crisis in faith and belief causes the narrative to explore what the heart is capable of in the face of love, loss, and fear. The ethnic cleansing has not begun with the first or second train to arrive in Mano Majra, and Jugga, though a thief and complicit in the killing, must now decide if this baseless violence should be perpetuated based on the fact that it is the only thing the villagers now know, or if he should transcend the current mode of thinking and speak out against the violence. Train to Pakistan shows how themes of love, religion, and allegiance cause mankind to do unthinkable things, things that include both heartbreaking actions and life-affirming ones. Singh does not paint any of the villagers above reproach. They are all thrown into a system where the value of human life is based on caste systems, religious beliefs, and politics. The villagers are but one part in a hopeless, seemingly endless cycle of bloodshed and history. The relationship between Jugga and his intended, between Sikh and Muslim, shows that, despite the death, carnage, and madness, people can choose to be different, to walk a different path, even if that path might be one of self-sacrifice.